Is riding a motorcycle in Vietnam too risky? If you ride a motorcycle in the developed world, many of your non-riding friends probably think you're a crazy risk taker, that riding is dangerous and should be discouraged. They preach a safety-first lifestyle, despite eating too much, drinking too much and exercising too little. Yet living too safely isn't really living at all, it's just existing. When I ride a motorcycle, life becomes more dynamic, more exciting and more intense. I think motorcyclists value their life, what they get out of their life, even more because they ride. Many riders never throw a leg over a bike outside of their own country, even though it's getting easier thanks to motorcycle tours booming in popularity, hiring a bike getting easier, and there are even opportunities to ship your bike around the world for longer trips. Vietnam is an awesome place to visit and ride. It's a great place for your first ride away from home because the scenery is amazing, the food fabulous, and the speeds are low. With a little planning and riding carefully, experienced motorcyclists rarely run into problems riding in Vietnam. The traffic in the big cities is chaotic, at least to Western eyes. The scooters and other two-wheelers never seem to stop, merging around other traffic and giving way to larger vehicles which inevitably cross their paths, and dodging pedestrians who simply walk out into the flow of traffic. You may be tempted to run them over for not looking, but that's not allowed. The key to understanding this is to throw away your perceptions of how traffic should flow. For in the West, we use traffic lights and signs to create a stop-start system where you're either stationary and waiting or moving quite quickly. In so many parts of Asia, and especially Vietnam, it's more about never stopping, but never going very fast either. If you're travelling slowly, there's a lot more time to react to people flowing into your lane. There's more time to judge which way to go around a pedestrian walking across the road in front of you, and more time to see a gap and flow into that gap and around a slower moving vehicle. You'll be fascinated by what you see on the road in Vietnam. Pigs in wooden trailers being pulled by scooters, merchants selling everything from food to pet fish in plastic bags, and complete roadside diners strapped to the back of a scooter, or maybe even someone delivering gas cylinders on a motorcycle. The chaos of the cities is interesting, but getting out of town is where you'll really enjoy the riding. Vietnam is long and skinny, running the length of the Southeast Asian coastline, bordering China to its north, Laos and Cambodia to the west. That western border are the mountains and jungles made famous in the West thanks to the war fought over colonialism and communism back in the 1960s and 70s. Although there's little to see relating to that conflict today away from the museums, which are fascinating in their own right. Today, Vietnam is an incredible place to visit. The roads which take you up into those mountains or wind along the coastline may vary in the quality of the surface, width and traffic load, but they are invariably interesting in the scenery along the way and the experiences you'll enjoy. The guides will also know good places to eat and interesting places to visit, breaking up the day with stops for the intense Vietnamese coffee and the opportunity to experience a culture which goes back thousands of years. Then there is the incredible Vietnamese food. No, you don't have to eat the insect and offal delicacies, though they are available. The seafood, pork and chicken dishes are superb, and you can request the food not to be too spicy, if that's the way you like it. Lots of Western food is also available, but you'd be mad to eat Western food while you're in Vietnam, from my perspective. I love to explore places by myself, being able to take my time creating photographs and videos for both my job as a motorcycle journalist and simply being able to take my time and go where I like. Vietnamese, however, is a difficult language to learn. It's not really widely spoken outside of the major cities, and it's even harder to read. And although getting around via GPS is easier than it was in the past, it's not like riding in a developed country. Yes, you can come to Vietnam, hire a scooter, maybe even a motorcycle if you're lucky, and find your own way, but I wouldn't recommend it. Join a tour, get expert guidance and advice, plus support if something does go wrong, and you'll not only have a great time, like me, you might just fall in love with this Asian gem of a country and return regularly.